The chamber of the Galactic Council stretched vast and empty. Holographic projections flickered in the darkness, showing a small blue planet rotating slowly in the void. Around the circular table, representatives from 40 different species watched in silence. "Earth," announced Speaker Malik, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "The matter before us today concerns the 3rd planet of the Sol system. The Draken Empire has requested permission to claim this world." General Voss of the Draken stepped forward. His scales gleamed under the chamber lights, and his tail swept the floor with confidence. "The humans are divided. They fight among themselves over resources, land, and ancient beliefs. They have barely reached their own moon. They are not ready for the galaxy." Council Member Tarn leaned forward. "What do you propose?" "Simple," Voss replied. "The Draken Empire needs the minerals beneath Earth's surface. The water, the space. Let us take what we need. The humans will serve us, or they will perish. Either way, the problem is solved." Murmurs rippled through the council. Speaker Malik raised one hand. "Does anyone speak for Earth?" Silence filled the chamber. "Very well," Malik said. "The council votes now." One by one, the votes came in. Yes, yes, yes. Only 3 voices said no, but it was not enough. The decision was made. Earth belonged to the Draken Empire. The sky above. New York City burned red. Drakon. Warships descended through the clouds like falling mountains. Their weapons fired without warning, turning skyscrapers into dust and ash. The streets filled with screams and smoke. People ran in every direction, but there was nowhere to hide. In London, Paris, Tokyo, and Moscow, the story was the same. The Draken fleet struck fast and hard. Human military forces tried to fight back, but their missiles bounced off alien shields. Their jets fell from the sky like broken toys. Within 3 days, every major government received the same message. General Voss appeared on every screen across the planet. His voice was cold and final. "Humans of Earth, you have lost. Your weapons are useless. Your armies are defeated. Surrender now, and some of you will live to serve the Draken Empire. Resist, and your species will end today." World leaders had no choice. One by one, they surrendered. The occupation began immediately. Draken soldiers marched through ruined cities. They set up mining operations in Africa, Asia, and South America. Humans were forced to work in the mines, digging up their own planet's resources to feed the Draken war machine. General Voss stood in his command ship above Earth and smiled. "See how easy they break." The council worried for nothing. These humans are no threat. Far away, in the council chamber, the representatives watched Earth's fall on their displays. "It is done," Speaker Malik said quietly. "The human problem is resolved." Council Member Tarn nodded. They surrendered so quickly. Perhaps they were too primitive to save. The displays went dark. The council moved on to other business, other worlds, other problems. Earth was forgotten. But beneath the ruins of human cities, something was happening. In the darkness of destroyed buildings, in hidden basements and underground tunnels, people gathered. They whispered in secret. They shared what little they had. They made plans. A teacher named Roberts salvaged Draken technology from a crashed fighter. A soldier named Marcus organized survivors into small fighting groups. A former admiral named Hayes used old military bunkers to create a hidden command center. They did not surrender in their hearts. The Draken had made a mistake. They had underestimated what humans could do when pushed to the edge. They did not understand that humanity had survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. They did not know that humans had a word for refusing to give up, even when everything seemed lost. That word was hope. In the darkness, the resistance began. Small attacks at first. A destroyed patrol. a sabotaged mining operation, a stolen weapons cache. The Draken barely noticed these tiny victories, but like a spark in dry grass, the resistance was growing. And soon, the fire would spread across the entire planet. The Galactic Council had watched Earth fall in silence. Soon, they would watch something else. They would watch humanity rise again, and this time, the whole galaxy would pay attention. 6 months had passed since the invasion. The Draken Empire believed Earth was conquered. General Voss sent regular reports to the Council, claiming the humans were broken and obedient. He was wrong. In a hidden laboratory beneath the ruins of Berlin, Dr. Roberts worked by candlelight. Around him lay pieces of Draken technology, weapons, communication devices, and parts from a crashed fighter ship. His hands moved quickly, connecting wires and studying alien circuits. "It's similar to our old plasma research," he muttered to himself, "but more efficient. They use crystalline conductors instead of copper." A young woman named Lisa entered the lab. She carried food and water. "Any progress?" Roberts looked up, his eyes bright with excitement. "I've figured out how their energy shields work, and I think I know how to break them." Lisa smiled. "Marcus will want to hear this." Across the city, in an abandoned subway tunnel, Marcus stood before a group of 50 fighters. They were ordinary people, once teachers, doctors, farmers, factory workers. Now they were soldiers in a war for survival. "Tonight, we hit the supply depot at Sector 7, Marcus said, pointing to a map on the wall. "The Draken store weapons and fuel there. We destroy it. They can't supply their northern operations for weeks." A man named Tom raised his hand. "They have guards. At least 20 soldiers, plus automated defenses." "I know," Marcus replied. "That's why Dr. Roberts gave us these." He held up a small device that glowed with blue light. "Electromagnetic pulse grenades. Draken technology, rebuilt by human hands. They'll shut down every piece of alien tech for 30 seconds. That's our window." The fighters nodded. They had learned to be brave. They had learned to be smart. Most importantly, they had learned to work together far beneath the Pacific Ocean. In a military bunker that survived the initial attack, Admiral Hayes watched multiple screens showing resistance cells across the globe. What started as scattered survivors had become a network, a movement, an army. "Reports coming in from all sectors," said his second-in-command, a pilot named Kate. "The Asian cells successfully sabotaged 3 mining operations. The African groups freed 2,000 workers from the labor camps. And the European resistance just took out a Draken communication hub." Hayes nodded slowly. "Good, very good. But we need more than small victories. We need to hit them where it hurts." He touched a button, and a new image appeared on the screen. It showed a massive Draken ship in orbit. "That's their command carrier, Voss's flagship. If we can take that down, we send a message to every Draken soldier on Earth. Humans are not defeated." Kate stared at the screen. "How? We don't have ships." "We barely have planes that still work." "We're building one," Hayes said quietly. "Dr. Roberts isn't the only scientist working for us. In hidden facilities across the planet, our people are rebuilding captured Draken fighters. We're learning their technology. Soon, we'll turn it against them." That night, Marcus and his team struck the supply depot. The EMP grenades worked perfectly. Lights went dark. Shields failed. Automated guns went silent. The Draken guards panicked in the sudden darkness. The resistance fighters moved like ghosts. They used the 30 seconds well. By the time the Draken systems came back online, the depot was burning, and Marcus's team had vanished into the night. General Voss watched the explosion from his command ship. His claws dug into the armrest of his chair. How did they do this? These primitives shouldn't have the technology. His lieutenant approached carefully. "General, the attacks are increasing. Last month, we had 12 incidents. This month, 47. They're getting stronger." "Impossible," Voss snarled. "They're just humans. Send more troops to guard the supply lines. Increase security at all mining operations. And find their leader. Someone is organizing this resistance. I want them found and killed." In the council chamber, millions of miles away, Speaker Malik received a report from Earth. He read it twice, his 4 eyes blinking in confusion. "This cannot be correct," he said to Tarn. "Voss reports the humans are resisting, but they surrendered. They had no choice." Tarn's expression was thoughtful. "Perhaps we underestimated them. Many species fight harder when they have nothing left to lose. Should we send help to the Draken?" Another council member, asked. Malik considered this. "No, not yet. Let us watch and see. If Voss cannot handle a primitive species, perhaps the Draken Empire is not as strong as they claim. On Earth, in 1,000 hidden places, humans worked through the night. They built weapons. They trained fighters. They studied stolen technology. They planned their next attack. The Draken thought they had conquered Earth, but they had only awakened something far more dangerous, a united humanity with nothing to lose, and everything to fight for. The resistance was no longer just surviving. It was preparing to strike back, and when it did, the galaxy would never be the same. Asterisk. 1 year after the invasion, everything had changed. In hidden factories beneath the mountains of Colorado, welders worked day and night. The sound of hammers and machinery echoed through massive caves. What they were building would have seemed impossible a year ago. A fleet of warships designed by humans, powered by captured Draken technology. Dr. Roberts walked through the main hangar, looking up at the ships with pride. They were smaller than Draken vessels, but faster and more agile. Human engineers had improved the original designs, making them stronger and more efficient. "We're ready," he told Admiral Hayes. 20 ships. Not much compared to their fleet, but enough to make them bleed. Hayes nodded. "Then it's time. Send word to all resistance cells. Operation Freedom begins at dawn." Across the planet, the message spread like wildfire. Resistance fighters prepared for the largest coordinated attack in human history. Every cell, every group, every hidden soldier would strike at the same moment. The goal was simple: drive the Draken from Earth forever. Marcus gathered his team one last time. They had grown from 50 fighters to 500. "This is it," he said. "Today, we take back our world. Some of us won't survive, but our children will grow up free. That's worth everything." The fighters raised their weapons and sheared in orbit above Earth. General Voss sat in his command chair, unaware of the storm about to break. His fleet of 30 warships surrounded the planet like a metal cage. He believed the humans were contained, controlled, defeated. He was wrong. At dawn, the attack began. Human ships burst from hidden launch sites across the planet. They rose through the atmosphere like silver arrows, their engines burning bright. The Draken fleet detected them immediately, but the surprise was complete. Admiral Hayes commanded the lead ship. "All vessels, attack formation. Target their command carrier. Everything we have." The human fleet moved with perfect coordination. They had trained for this moment. They had studied every weakness in Draken ship design. And they had one advantage the Draken never expected. They were fighting for their home. The battle was fierce. Draken ships fired their massive weapons, and 2 human vessels exploded in balls of fire. But the human ships were fast. They dodged and weaved through enemy fire, striking at weak points in the Draken shields. On the surface, Resistance fighters attacked every Draken installation simultaneously. They destroyed supply depots, communication towers, and landing platforms. The Draken ground forces found themselves surrounded and overwhelmed. General Voss watched in horror as his fleet fell apart. How are they doing this? Where did they get ships? His lieutenant's voice was panicked. General, we're losing. They know our weaknesses. They're targeting our shield generators. Impossible. Voss roared. They're just humans. But even as he spoke, 3 human ships broke through his defenses. They fired directly at his command carrier. The shields collapsed. Explosions ripped through the hull. Admiral Hayes's voice came through the communication system. General Voss, this is Admiral Hayes of Earth. You invaded our world. You killed our people. You thought we were weak. You were wrong. Surrender now or die. Voss looked around his burning ship. His crew was evacuating. His fleet was scattered. He had no choice. We surrender, he said quietly. The battle lasted only 6 hours. When it ended, the Draken fleet was destroyed or fleeing. Human ships pursued them beyond Earth's orbit, making sure they never returned. But Admiral Hayes had one more destination in mind. Set course for the council chamber, he ordered. It's time we had a conversation with the galaxy. 3 days later, the human fleet arrived at the council station. The council members gathered in emergency session, shocked to see human warships outside their windows. Admiral Hayes walked into the chamber. He wore his military uniform, and behind him stood Marcus, Dr. Roberts, and representatives from every nation on Earth. Speaker Malik rose slowly. This is unprecedented. How did we defeat the Draken? Hayes interrupted. We learned. We adapted. We fought back. That's what humans do. He placed a document on the council table. 1 year ago, you voted to let the Draken invade our world. You condemned millions of my people to death. You thought we were too primitive to matter. The council members shifted uncomfortably. We're here to demand 3 things, Hayes continued. First, Earth becomes a member of this council with full voting rights. Second, the Draken Empire pays reparations for the damage they caused. Third, no species may attack another without unanimous council approval, ever. Tarn spoke carefully. And if we refuse? Hayes smiled coldly. Then you'll learn what the Draken learned. Humans are very good at building ships, and we have a long memory for those who hurt us. The council looked at each other. They saw the human ships outside. They had watched Earth defeat the mighty Draken Empire. They understood the message. Speaker Malik nodded slowly. Welcome to the Galactic Council, Admiral Hayes. Your terms are accepted. Humanity had earned their place among the stars, not through permission, but through strength, courage, and the refusal to surrender. The galaxy would never underestimate Earth again. The end. Asterisk.